and focuses on the game. I think that's when we play our best.
Do you agree?
Yeah, I mean, we have to play defense, first of all, and consistent defense wins games, and that's what's going to, this second half, that's what we're going to have to do is play defense and obviously pitching. But, you know, your offense can struggle a little bit, but if you score 1 or 2 runs and you play lights-out defense and your pitching's great, then you're going to win games. So.
Are you guys of the belief that when your defense is playing well, that helps fix pitching as well as offense?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I mean, it'll cover up some things when you're playing good defense. Everyone's making great plays, making routine plays, and that'll win games.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the pitching right now. The Swamp Dogs are 5th in the league right now in ERA in the CPL, and you being a catcher, you've had a chance to learn how a lot of these guys pitch. You've got a chance to communicate with them, both you and Scurf as well. How long do you think it took for you to really get used to how these guys pitch out there on the mountain?
Well, I mean, everyone's so different, and that's the hardest part of being a catcher, and the worst part is when you show up to the Swamp Dogs and you have to catch pitchers and everyone throws so differently. Yeah. And it takes, you know, a start, 2 starts, catching each pitcher, or, you know, an appearance for mid-relief and closers. And that's the worst part, is trying to figure out how everybody feels on the mound, what they want to do in certain situations and things. So it takes a considerable amount of time to figure everybody out.
Who was the easiest guy that you were able to learn how to pitch for? Gov?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's surprising because he's got a lot of movement on all those pitches.
Yeah, he's by far the easiest guy. And then Lee, because Lee just comes out and throws gas, and he's like ramming it down his throat. So. And
Eric, as far as your play goes, started a little bit on the offensive end, struggling, but all of a sudden these last 15, 16 games, you picked it up, one of the hottest hitters on the team. I know I've asked you this before on the radio broadcast, but talk a little bit about the adjustments that you've made at the plate to really get yourself going lately.
Well, it started out with the confidence part, and I got my confidence back. And then I started working on staying back better. I was getting out in front of everything. I was out on my front leg to begin with, and had some of the players watch me and tell me, am I staying back or am I getting out in front? And just pounded it in my head. I was sitting in front of the mirror after every game while I was doing laundry, just taking hacks in front of the mirror, just seeing if I was staying back in the mirror. And I just kept working on it.
It sort of became more of a consistency thing for it, just to be able to figure that out?
Yeah, it just started becoming more consistent.
Well, Brock, I'm glad that you mentioned Gov because it actually leads to our next subject. I'm curious to know from you guys. He was named the CPL Pitcher of the Week this week, pitched a complete game shutout versus Columbia. And I don't know if you guys know this, but going back to, I believe it's the 13th or the 12th of June, Gov hasn't given up a run. Yeah. He's gone 24 consecutive innings without giving up a run. So I hope that doesn't give him a jinx, but my job to inform. He's now 4-1 after struggling in his first few starts. So what has impressed you guys the most, Eric? I'll start with you, about Gov's turnaround.
He's going out there with a lot of confidence, and it's easiest for a position player to play behind a pitcher and is confident. And I mean, that sets the whole standard of the team if the pitcher goes out and is knows he's going to do good. And that's what he's been doing. He's been going out there with the most confidence on the team, and that's what we need from all the guys, and that's what we're getting from Gov especially.
And we've talked about adjustments, Brock. You've called for him. What adjustments do you think he's made in order to have all this success right now?
Well, yeah, I mean, he's getting ahead of hitters, and that's the biggest thing is, you know, you get ahead, you can't pitch from behind, so, you know, Gov's doing great. That's all there is to it.
Is that the single most important thing that you think Coach JP has stressed, getting ahead of those guys? Yeah, I remember talking to him about that. He was first pitch, second pitch strikes, just pounding it in the zone. And so, yeah, Gov's been outstanding as far as that department goes. Going back to your team for a second as a whole, you guys have now been around them for around a month and a half now. What have you guys noticed and what have you guys have really learned about your team as a whole so far that you can really take away? I'll start with either of you guys.
Well, we, you know, we're real close, and that's the biggest part is being close to your team and trusting everybody on the team and trusting everyone's going to do their job. So.
Have you felt that same way?
Everyone's
just gelling together?
It's weird. It's the best team chemistry that I've ever had with a team before. And I mean, it's only been a month and a half, and it started out from day 1. Everybody was just friendly, and everybody was picking each other up, and it just surprised me, especially on a summer team. We just do it outstandingly.
Now, looking at your guys' performance on an individual level, what's one thing, Eric, I'll start with you, that you've been really happy with so far, and one thing that you really want to improve upon?
Well, my hitting obviously has come around, and so I'm really happy with that. And defensively, I think I need to work on some things there. But I mean, it's coming up too, and it's coming around. So either way,
Right.
but defenses need to be worked on a little bit.
What about for you, Brock?
Well, I obviously need to pick my offense up and be more consistent on the plate, and just get in my head that, you know, you got to go up there and be confident and have faith in your hands and trust everything. And I'm really happy with my defense. I feel like I'm playing great defense and, you know, throwing guys out. So, and that's, I mean, you can't have both. If you can't have both, you have to do one thing great. So I'm trying to stay solid defensively, and my hitting will come around.
One final question for you guys. Actually, make that two. But I like to sort of end these segments by finding out some information from you guys about the one guy in the clubhouse that's really stood out to you, a guy that's got a great work ethic, and you've been impressed with, but not necessarily by his stats. So, Eric, I'll start with you. Who's been that one guy that's really stood out to you, that's really impressed you so far?
Vinny, Erlen Vincent. Every time I go to the weight room, he's in there working out hard. He's always got good enthusiasm, and he gets the team going a lot. He backs us up if we need it, and I mean, he just goes out there and gives it his all every time he gets out there.
Has he surpassed himself as the team goofball over Schmidt?
No.
No, you don't think so, Brian?
No. Tom Schmidt's the goofiest kid I've ever met.
He's a lefty.
Yeah, he's left-handed.
He's left.
Makes sense.
Who's been that one guy for you?
I agree with Erlen. I mean, and it's not even about how hard he works at the field or if he's in the gym or not. Like, he's genuinely enthusiastic about being at the baseball field and winning games and being with the team, and he's a great team guy, and that's what it's all about. I mean, you get a bunch of guys that are about themselves, and you don't win a game. So Erlen's a great guy, and he's happy to be at the field every day. So.
I'll lead off with, I'll end it with one final question for you guys. We like to talk about how in baseball everyone always has a couple good, goofy nicknames at some point, either at the beginning of the season or at the end of the season. Found out a couple weeks ago from Aaron Fields that he was nicknamed the Giraffe. Matt Skirvin, Count Chocula.
Count Chocula.
Have you guys gotten any nicknames to this point?
Well, Fields' nickname's actually Fred McGriff, or Crime Dog.
Okay, so you guys changed it from Giraffe.
Yeah.
So that's what he said on the show.
Well, he looks just like Fred McGriff.
He does.
Like, he showed up the first day in the Tom and Ansky video. I don't know if you remember it, but where Fred McGriff has his hat, it's like sitting on top of his head, like, and he goes, "I want you," like back to back to back. So
the Crime Dog's a swamp dog.
Yeah, he looks exactly like Fred McGriff, so we give him that all the time.
So have you guys received a nickname to this point?
I got Rook.
Yeah, you got Rook.
You got Rook. Okay.
People just call me B.
Like, Caveman.
Yeah, because we went to Florence and they have the K-Man for the night, and then for some reason Lamy and Raya started calling me Caveman. I was like, it's not Caveman, it's Caveman.
Southern Alabama thing, apparently.
So I don't even know why they call me that, but the Caveman.
Sometimes they just stay. Hey, Brock Whiteman, Eric Grabe, appreciate you guys coming on the show. We will be back with Dana Long from Cape Fear Orthopedics when we come back on Inside the Dog Pound on Time Warner Cable.
Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs?
Welcome back, everybody, to Inside the Dog Pound here on Time Warner Cable. My guest is Dana Long from Cape Fear I was about to say orthodontist, but it's actually Cape Fear Orthopedics.
Correct.
You know
Bones, not teeth.
That's
yes.
right. Well, and I haven't gotten a chance to go to an orthopedics office before, but that's
fine.
what you're here to tell us about. So tell us a little bit about what you do over at Cape Fear and how you guys have been serving the community.
Absolutely. Been around for about 30 years. I've not been with them that long, obviously, but about 30 years. We are a full-service orthopedic clinic. We've got 9 physicians, 5 PAs. We've got physician's assistants. We've got 6 physical therapists, 2 occupational therapists. Treat everything from strains, sprains, broken bones, joint replacements, sports injuries, osteoporosis. We can cover your bones. If they've got a problem, we can hook you up. So.
And tell us a little bit about what you do specifically over there.
I'm a radiographer with the practice. I take care of their x-rays along with 2 other radiographers in the department. make sure we can see those bones and diagnose them
Sure.
properly. So.
Now, obviously, it seemed like the Swamp Dogs have been known